Where are you ladies from? New Jersey? Oh, great.
What are you promoting or not promoting?
Well,
What are you promoting?
it should be self-evident. What does it look like?
I just wanted to hear it from you. I don't want to assume by just looking at it.
The truth, hopefully.
What is the truth?
Well, that's what I'm searching for. That's what I'm trying to seek out. That's what I'm trying to, and I think we come to that by talking and having reaching common ground and trying to find out what our differences are and how, why they got that way and what we can do to go ahead and find out we live together, because that's all we're trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, this life's, what is it? It's one big struggle to find out how to get along with this insanity that they put us into.
So if I just turn around and look at this, I can just assume what you're trying to promote, but you're saying something else.
Well, I definitely want to see her in jail. She deserves to be.
Okay.
I mean, I've spoke to a guy out here today who is the head security guy for the White House in cybersecurity. Head guy. Talked to him out earlier. First question I asked, should she be in jail? He said, oh, God.
Am I in your picture?
I talked to a colonel out here last week. He says, he works for the Department of Defense now.
No.
So if I would have done 1/1,000,000th of what she did, I would have lost my commission. I would have been thrown in Leavenworth. So, that two-tiered system that we got in justice is amplified with that, because that's, if anything, that's what the anger in this whole damn election was about. We're seeing elitist people in another political realm get away with things we go to jail for. That's where the anger was. That's why people gravitated towards Bernie Sanders on the left, because he represented an establishment on the left. Against her, she was establishment. And of course it was supposed to be, Bush on the right, but he blew him out because people didn't want any of that bullshit anymore either. We wanted somebody in there to actually, how many times did you hear, he talks like I think?
I hope not.
Why? What do you got against his policies?
I don't, but I'm just saying, I hope he doesn't talk like you think.
Well, why? What policy would you disagree?
I would disagree on all his policies. His policies that, the Mexicans or, they stand over rapists and killers and all that stuff.
Obviously, you listen to these guys and you formulate your opinions from what they say. He never, ever, ever said all.
No,
ever.
No.
And that's misnumbered. Let me ask you something. Was he a racist before he ran for president? He was.
Yes.
So when Jesse Jackson gave him the Jesse Jackson Award for racial diversity in hiring, was he a racist then?
Yes.
Oh, how was that?
Because Jesse Jackson doesn't speak for the whole black community. Your actions speak louder than what your words.
Was he a racist when he sued Palm Springs to allow blacks and Jews into the community? Was he a racist then?
He was. He was a racist when he tried to keep black people out of his apartment complexes and from buying his condos.
Is Dr. Seuss racist?
I have no idea.
Oh, because you see, you're falling in line with that. You see, there's a news.
So let me ask you a question.
No.
Wait, hold on. You spoke. Now let me speak. So you get your news from certain news sources, and you said I get my news from certain news sources. Whose source is correct? Just because you have an opinion, don't mean that.
Well, that's why we have discernment. But are you going to tell me that you actually think the mainstream media, the corporate-owned media, tells us the truth? Are you trying to tell me that?
Are you telling? Because actually, that's where you get your information from.
I know. Answer my question.
Well,
do you believe these guys?
I don't believe those. That's why I listen to different media outlets and form my own opinion.
Which ones?
All of them.
What's all? Name one.
Fox, CNN.
Again, if you're listening to corporate-owned news, if they're taking corporate money,
what do you listen to?
If they're taking corporate money, do you have that? You see that in your hand right there? You can go straight to the sources now. You don't have to go through some talking head telling you. You can go to the government sites. You can go to independent researchers. You don't listen now to guys dressed in $1,000 suits and $1 million worth of.
No matter where you get it from, you're getting someone's opinion because you're not there. there. So you're relying on someone's opinion to formulate your own opinion, unless you.
Oh, so the data I can look. If I want to go look up a government, if I want to go up and look at the government documents,
correct.
That's not an opinion. I'm looking at the government documents.
Read the government documents and form your own opinion.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And I read it and I form my own opinion. My opinion may not be the same as your opinion.
And so everything is racist now.
Who the fuck said something about racist?
You brought it up.
I didn't bring it up. No, you brought it up. You brought it up.
You know who's a really good news source? That's not these fucking clowns and not Fox News, because they're both the same thing.
Correct.
One America News. One America News, BBC, those guys there, they don't have really, they don't have opinions.
And here's the deal with that.
I love One America News.
I read and listen to it and form my own opinion because I know they all lean a certain way.
Have you ever watched
I have
One
to do.
America News?
I have. I've watched Al Jazeera also because I can formulate my own opinion. I don't need Fox News or CNN or MSNBC or anyone else
to trying to say is that your opinion is not wrong. It's not wrong at all.
That's not what he's saying.
Is that the media?
No, he just said my opinion is wrong, but that's not opinion because here's the deal. We may disagree. We may disagree on a lot of things.
Right?
That's what makes America beautiful. That's what makes America.
Is that why the
leftists?
And here's the hypocrites of this. We have on the one end, of course, in the NFL saying, well, it's free speech. I can say it's free speech. At the same time, we got leftists in Berkeley.
They did the same thing.
At the same time, we got leftists in Berkeley trying to shut down free speech violently.
See, this man right here could not get away with this in Berkeley.
Correct.
They would kill him.
And it's wrong. And it's wrong.
Can I answer your question? For purpose of argument, let's go. Sorry to argue, that's the problem. Give me your definition, because I heard y'all discuss this term, racism, and who can be a racist? Because I think that's very important. Can a poor man be a racist? And then I'll kind of know what you're coming from.
Well, anybody can be. Racist is an attitude.
You can be prejudiced.
No, anybody cannot be racist. Racism has to do with money. Prejudice is something else than racism.
Racism has to do with a position of privilege, a position of power. So now, poor people can be prejudiced, but they can't be racist because there's no way of affecting those other people.
Now I need to get a working definition of racism.
Kind of hair splitting there. I can't follow that one. But a lot of what I see this being stoked is because of this. It's about social control. In other words, they want us fighting. They don't want us talking like this.
I totally agree. They use this to divide us and to distract us away from the real problem. The real problems: Korea, Russia, the problems that Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands that we have.
This is something that is so nonsense and mediocre.
It doesn't make sense.
Problem that we need to worry about.
They have more important issues to worry about, and that's why they want us to focus on
That's the problem.
But again,
once again, I'm not saying you're wrong in your opinions because that's your opinions. I'm a veteran. I fought. I did my tours already. I fought for you to have this damn.
He's a veteran. I mean,
I fought for you to have that right.
Uncle Sam tips his hat to you.
So I have no issues with the so-called protest or whatever it is. I don't think it's anything about disrespecting the flag or none of that stuff. Because I'm gonna just tell you, I didn't fight for a flag. I didn't fight for a song. I fought for the ideals of America. That's what I fought for.
Now, when it comes to this NFL thing, I don't mind the protest, even if I don't agree with the protest. My thing is the venue. I mean, you're on the job. If you're on the job, I mean, you do the job. You don't throw your personal crap out there.
Well, let me ask you a question. I have a job also. My job has certain guidelines that I have to follow. If I don't follow them, if I protest at my job, I might be fined. I might be fired. There's no policies in place for them not to protest. So they're well within their rights to do.
There is actually.
No, that's not.
Well, then the rules.
No, it's not the NFL. The NBA does, but not the NFL because it's.
Well, wait. Then why did they stop the Dallas Cowboys? Fine them because when the 5 cops got shot by Black Lives Matter, when the 5 cops got shot, they wanted to put stickers on their helmets to commemorate it, and told them if they did, they would be fined.
Because that's a uniform violation. We're not talking about a free speech violation. There's a uniform violation. You're talking about splitting hairs. Let's split hairs. There's a uniform violation. They get violated for wearing the wrong cleats. Also, that was a uniform violation. If they could find them now, they would have fined them already.
But you see how it looks optically, though.
Just for the record, Black Lives Matter did not shoot those 5 cops. They had a rogue guy. That's like blaming all white people for Dylan Roof's action in South Carolina. So all white people, so the KKK shot that guy. You can't group them
But
all.
at the same time, the powers that be are going to use groups like Black Lives Matter again to go ahead and separate us. Because to me, I look at Black Lives Matter just by their very name as a racist group.
And I look at the KKK as a racist group. I look at all these people that was in Charleston as I see it as a racist group. But you know the problem is, we shouldn't even have to say that Black Lives Matter. It should be a given. We're not saying that white lives don't matter or Mexican lives don't matter. It's because
the counter to that was always all lives matter.
Aren't getting killed by the cops unarmed in Florida. This guy stabbed 2 people, started eating somebody's face, stabbed 2 cops, and they still took him alive.
I'm glad you brought that up. Did you know, according to the FBI,
Can we bother to look at some statistics?
he and I have twice as likely to be shot by a cop than a black and
In 2015, cops killed twice as many whites as blacks.
The FBI and the Justice Department reviewed it, came out in 2012. A white man has twice as many shots
And you are 100% correct. But the cop that shoots a white guy goes to fucking jail. He don't get rich. He don't get rich.
That's not true. They got a case going on right now in Marksville. Right now, 2 black cops in Marksville, Louisiana, killed a white man and shot his kid, and they're both going to walk scot-free.
And it's wrong.
Well, we can talk about the Baltimore one.
Yeah, we
how about the
sure
Baltimore?
can.
They all
I
got
wasn't there.
dismissed.
I wasn't
there either, but the Baltimore case, they all got dismissed. And the kid got dismissed.
Do I believe that those cops did some shit to him and then it gave him the rough treatment and did secure him? I absolutely believe
So
that.
let me ask you a question. So do you think that's a racial problem in the United States? Do you think that black?
Yeah, but I think it's being overblown. I think it's being overblown
I'm not asking if it's being overblown or not. I'm asking, do you
There's
think that's a problem?
racial strife in every country you can go to. It's part of life.
So at least we can agree that that's a problem.
Yeah, but it's being overblown. I mean, yesterday I spoke to the 14 years gymnastic coach for the New Orleans Saints, black guy, right? And he says this is all bullshit. You know, that was his opinion. But I asked him, I says, well, when it comes to this racism, you were in the NFL, you were right there with the guys. I says, let me ask, as a black man, when was the last time you suffered any, racism or something that, because you were black, you were denied anything? And he thought about it he goes, about 10 years ago, so it's not a big, 10 years ago, one guy told the Civil Rights Act was passed over 50 years ago. We just had a black president was elected twice. We have black people in dentistry, lawyers, and every damn profession. What racism are we talking about?
Why are we still having the same problem? The civil rights was
again, those problems are being blown out of proportion. When you have black lawyers and black dentists and black physicians and black politicians and black, everything you can think of. I mean, we've had blacks in every position, including the United States of America as president.
Black people and Latin people and everybody is less than white people. If you don't want to accept that, go look to public records. Go look government right now. Go look all the positions in universities everywhere. You want to create a reality saying things that are not true? That is not gonna. We are not gonna buy that. Reality.
You're talking about something that used to be.
No, is right now. That you don't know is not your problem. Go to public record and look.
And I understand. I understand.
You are talking things that are not real.
I understand the pushback because a lot of white people think that, hey, like what Trump said, make America great again or take back our country. I understand that, you know, the white people are the majority, and they're slowly slipping away.
Not anymore.
They're going to be the minority here pretty soon, and they're trying to hold on to power. I get that. I would try to hold on to power too, but you can't avoid it inevitable. I think the biggest issue is that white people think that once they become the minority, we're going to treat them the way they treated us.
Well, there already is a war on white people, for crying out loud. Jesus Christ, man, what are you talking about? I tell you, I saw evidence last night. This was an undercover report by Crowder. Crowder had infiltrated Antifa, and Antifa is planning civil unrest this coming month, and November 4th is a big one, where they're going to go out and kill every white person they can find. This is undercover video you can see.
Kind of like the Klan
so they can start a race war.
Kind of like the Klan did for the last 100 years.
But the Klan is bullshit anymore. They don't even if they're like there's a handful of them.
No, that's more than a handful. They just don't wear the sheets. That's more than a handful.
Oh, now you're bringing up boogeyman. I'm telling you, man. Come on, man. This just doesn't exist to the extent it does anymore. I mean, as I asked the black guy yesterday, when was the last time you suffered any racism? 10 years ago.
Okay, but that's one black guy. You're talking about somebody in the NFL. You're talking about somebody with money. Not ask the same average guy. You ask me. You ask him. You ask her. You ask her.
He was a gymnastics coach. I don't think he was rolling a dough.
I'm pretty sure he's making, if he's a gymnastic coach or whoever for the NFL or whoever it is, he's making some money. But if you ask the average, you go ask those guys that's playing on the corner. You go ask them the last time they suffered racism, and then get a broader scope. Don't just base your opinion on one well-to-do person. You go ask Barack Obama the last time he suffered racism. You're gonna be like, hey, you know, I was president. They said stuff, but it don't really matter.
These are individual cases now. We aren't talking about institutional racism.
But you said you basing your opinion on one person. You poll about 15 people out. You got black people walking back and forth there. Ask those guys. Ask those young ladies. When was the last time you suffered from any type of racism?
I do all the time out here. I've been out here for 5 years. I've spoken to more people you can shake a stick at.
Okay.
Black, white, Asian, pink, purple, short, tall, fat, skinny. And I'm telling you, man, it's bullshit. Most of us love getting along with one another. We don't obsess with the damn racism.
And you are correct. And I'm not saying that we don't. I can get along with just about anybody. Period. But I worry about racism, and the reason I worry about it is I got 3 sons. I got to worry about them coming home at night from some vigilante cop that's got some bullshit. Granted, we don't have those.
Again, you saw the statistics. They shoot more whites than they do blacks.
Can we talk about how many have weapons or not weapons?
Yes, we can, because that's in here too.
We can talk about it.
Wait, let's go on. These are FBI statistics. Let's talk about them.
So let's talk.
So the whole thing, myth about, you know, the cops shooting blacks at random. No cops just get dressed and go, oh, let's see how many black people I can go shoot today.
Bullshit. They've got cops on there talking about, hey, we only kill black people. But the beauty of this is you can have your opinion and I can have my opinion. Your opinion is based on what I'm going to call bullshit. Just like you're going to call my opinion based on bullshit too. And that's the beauty of America. I don't have to agree with you. We can agree to disagree. You're going to continue living. I'm not trying to convince you one way or another because you're older, you're set in your ways, and that's fine. I'm older, I'm set in my ways, and I have my beliefs.
I'm always open, but a lot of times I feel like I'm a child.
I understand. So I'm not going to change your mind. You're not going to change my mind. My hope is that by
but I don't see the premise. I don't experience that. I don't see it.
You don't experience it because you've never been black. That's the whole thing. You've never been black.
I have suffered reverse racism in this town.
Okay. Okay, and you have. And I have suffered racism in this town. But here's one thing. You don't know
if you don't see me going around bitching about it, it's because it was that individual treated me like shit. It was an individual thing. But overall, I found most people, whether I don't care what color they are, they just want to get along. They don't give a crap what you do as long as you're not hurting them.
Here's the deal, dude. The only thing that black people ask is to be treated like everyone else.
So you get affirmative action, which discriminates against white people who might be more qualified for the job.
Why do we have affirmative action? Why do we get affirmative action?
Good question.
Why do we have?
Why would we go ahead and totally against Martin Luther King, where you judge a person on their character rather than their skin? Why should we go ahead?
Because white people were judging them on the character, they were judging them on their skin. So she can be more qualified than any Caucasian person that you have, but you wouldn't hire her because she was black. And so that's what affirmative action is.
Has that happened to you?
A couple of times.
And you know it was because you were black.
Absolutely.
Then why didn't you sue them?
Well, at that time, I didn't know any better. I was young.
But it hasn't happened in
So
the
let me
past,
ask you-
what, 20 years?
Well, let me ask you a question. How many times have you been denied a job because you were white? Bingo.
I've been denied a job for other reasons besides my skin color.
How many times how many times have you been denied a job because you were white?
I wouldn't know because, I don't know what that other person is thinking.
Okay, there you go. There you go. And that's just what it is, dude. So we can agree to disagree. You have your points. You have your views. I have my views. I'm not trying to convince you because I can't. Because that's your view. I'm just hoping that we can share some light on each other and get the dialogue talking. Because just the way you think, just because you think it don't make it right.
To me, I'm trying to keep from having this race war they're trying to formulate. Guys really think they want us fighting.
The whole thing is, dude, just because you think it and it's your opinion, don't make it the only opinion, and it don't make it the only.
I'm well aware. That's why I take all opinions out
There
here.
you go.
I'm not, not disposed to even have my mind change about things, which I have had out here. Someone comes along that's an authority in something, and they have some more information than I do on a subject.
And you have to watch those authorities because they are
Oh, sure.
also.
Oh,
They all have their own agenda.
I mean, like you, I take everything with a grain of salt.
Right.
Do what you can. But hey, thanks, man, for the the discussion.
At the end of the day, we all God's children.
Amen, brother. Amen to that. Here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton for you.
That's right. We all got to get along, right?
That's right.
Until we can't.
If we really value Christianity, we wouldn't have these conversations at all. Because if we lived according to God's law, none of this will happen.
Well, amen to that. We all strive to be that good person.
But a lot of times people confuse Christianity with everything else. They convolute it. They try to put
like everything they try to pervert it and use it for their own benefit.
Right.
Yeah.
God didn't die for white people, or for black people, or for Mexicans, or just Christians, or he died for everybody. Jewish, atheists, Muslims, it didn't matter. He died for everybody. And those
we can all unite under God and the flag.
That's it. But just they don't want to.
Well, I'm going to do it. I know you are.
Maxine.
Yes.
We're going to go look at
Maxine, go look at what Lyndon B. Johnson said in 1966. You are not going to like what he said when he said, I'm going to have these blanket voting for us the next 200 years.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton's mentor was Robert Byrd. You know who Robert Byrd was? Robert Byrd was a grandmaster of the Ku Klux Klan.
We should not be divided regardless. We have our opinion. I think that what's happening is they're trying to distract us and divide us instead of being united and stay as one.
As long as you're not listening to those people right there. Don't listen to them.
I think it's not just me and you, though. I mean, we know we're smart enough not to listen to that. But I think the rest of the country is being tunnel vision to listen to something and divided. And we don't want it. We don't want that for the country.
They're bombarded with this shit on a constant basis.
You don't want that. You want to
They watch Facebook and they think it's the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye, Maxine.
Well, that was a lively discussion.
Liberals don't like it when you're right.
Well,
They don't like facts.
I don't.